गीतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः अथ द्वादशोऽध्यायः अर्जुन उवाच एवं सततयुक्ताये भक्तास्त्वां पर्युपासते ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तं तेषां के योगवित्तमाः श्रीभगवानुवाच मय्यावेश्य मनो ये मां नित्ययुक्ता उपासते श्रद्धया परयोपेताः ते मे युक्ततमा मताः ये त्वक्षरमनिर्देश्यम् अव्यक्तं पर्युपासते सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यं च कूटस्थमचलं ध्रुवम् सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामम् सर्वत्र समबुद्धयः ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रताः क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम् देहवद्भिरवाप्यते. Our life from morning to evening is a great seva to our body. We are sevaks to our deha. देह को हम सदा सेवा करते रहेंगे. Morning you get up, coffee, then take shower, then put foundation, then do some exercise, whatever, walking, then breakfast, take 4 coffee, then put your dress on if you are going to work. Then after reaching the office, one more little coffee. Then after working for some time, probably walk out, have some snacks. It goes on like that. Deha seva. So Bhagavan Krishna answers here very clearly. Who are the best of the people who reach me? He said, Mayi aveshya manah. Those whose minds are with me, not with your body. Maya veshya mano yema nitya ukta upasate. The word upasana means sitting near. Upa-asate. Upasanam. Not upumasanam. Upasana means where you sit near the Lord. Pari-upasate. Everywhere. Shraddhaya paraya upetaha. Upetaha means endowed with. Paraya shraddhaya, supreme faith. With great faith, when they do that, te me yuktatama mata. In my opinion, they are the best. So what are the three important things? Man ko Bhagavan mein lagana. Pehla. One is first keep the mind in the Lord. Second is pariupasana. Serving the Lord in every way possible. And have undoubted faith. Presently, our body is the one we serve because it serves us. Why do we so much have body identification? We always attach to that which helps us. You take this iPhone anywhere and everywhere, even those places where you don't take your spouse also. Restroom, next to the bed also, and all the time with you. Why? It's serving you, and therefore you are also keeping it very close to you. So what do we keep which one we keep very close to our heart? That one which we cannot live without. Right? So our body we serve because it serves us. It is taking care of our work, any work you want to do, you do with the body. And so you oblige to it as though. Bhagavan Krishna says, as much as you identify with the physical body, it is not possible for you to think of reality without a form. Because everything that we do is connected to a form. And therefore, in the verse which we completed yesterday, to think about aksharam avyaktam, imperishable, unmanifest nature of me, kleshaha adhikataraha, difficulty is very high. Klesho adhikataratesham, avyakta sakta chetasam, of the people who are identified with avyakta. Avyakta means unmanifest. Why? Which kind of people? Dehavadbihi. Avyakta hi gatihi dukkam avapyate. Those who are identified with the physical body as themselves, to think of the reality of the Supreme Truth as formless, nameless, bodiless, not easy. Meaning we need support, some kind of support. I always tell people, if you're all sitting here, I ask you all to get up and jump. Not now, but if you jump. How much you can jump? What is the distance from the floor you can jump? Maybe few inches. If I have a rope hanging from the top, and then you jump and hold on to it, you can jump, you can raise away from the floor for a longer time, from a higher level also. Maybe 1 foot. Correct? Why you are able to do that? Because you are holding on to a support. In the same way, if we have to recognize the Lord, the support is very important. It's called alambanam. In Upanishad it is said, Om ityetad aksharam etad alambanam param etad alambanam sreshtam. There in the Vedic times, they identified with the Om as a representative of Brahman, the Supreme Reality. Either by chanting Om or by meditating upon that form of Om, people are able to, the yogis were able to remain connected to the highest reality for a longer period of time. Your own children also, when they are too agitated here and there running, then you give them that, either the iPhone or iPad, and then this is called Edadalambanam Sreshtam. I was coming from Leyte here, 2 hours flight. I was telling, one girl, probably 4 or 5 years old, and the parents gave her an iPad there. 2 hours, that child never moved from that position. Alambanam. external support for us to concentrate. So when you have a murti of the Lord, it is alambana, a support. Support for what? For your mind, to keep itself occupied with that. For in this world, there are so many things that are there which probably are troubling you, or you are concerned about, you are worried about, you are uncertain about, you are helpless. And you want to stay a little away from it for some time so that your mind is clear, you can think clearly, you want some release. So at that time, what is the best way to overcome that is to take an alambana, a support. So upasana is mainly to keep our mind connected to the Lord. And if it is formless, it is very difficult. So since we have identified with our body so strongly, Bhagavan's form also is a physical form. So identifying with the Bhagavan's physical form is easy for those who are strongly identified with their body. Only when we start recognizing our soul as bodiless, formless, it is indeed has no gender also. Bhagavan Shankaracharya says how to meditate on the formless. Jati niti gula gotra dhurakam nama rupa guna dosha varjitam desha kala vishayadi vartiyat brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. No, when we listen to these things, we feel like, okay, we can sing, Jadi niti kula gotra duragam. It becomes a musical concert, but that's not the idea. Here you have to meditate on each word, how that supreme reality is na jati, there is no jati involved here, niti, kula, gotra, nama, rupa, guna, none of these belong to your real soul, which is Brahma Tattva. It has no caste, it is no color, it is no gender, it is not tall, it is not short, it is not black or white or yellow. None of these things belong to the Paramatma Swarupa in you. So when you are meditating to leaving aside all these attributes which you are identified with, and then only exclusively think of that abstract avyakta is difficult. Bhagavan admits. Kleshaha adhikatarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyaktaha gadihi dukkham dehavatpihi avapyate. So we should take one at a time. To start with, identify with Bhagavan. Swami Vivekananda said, the highest goal of Vedanta is to see the one reality in everyone. But start with one first. If you can recognize the Bhagavan's presence in a form which is in front of you, worshipping as, Krishna, Shiva, whatever, at least recognize that first. The Paramatma is in this. Then with that same idea of the Paramatma in this particular Krishna form, that is why when you are doing puja, you actually invoke from your heart. Yehi Gaurisha Pinakapani Shashankamole Vrishabhadiruda Devadi Devesha Mahesha Nityam Grihana Pujan Bhagavan Namaste Avahyami Devesham Adimadhyanta Varjidam Adaram Sarvalokanam Ashritatta Pradayanam Idi Avahayami. When you are invoking the Lord, where are you invoking from? From the heart to the Shivalinga. And why do you ring the bell? You know that? I told you this also. Agamartam tu devanam. For all the devatas to come and be part of your puja. But at that time, some people have a cell phone ringing and walk away. Gamanartam tu rakshasam. The rakshasas have to go out. So, the tradition of Upasana is, Bhagavan is already residing in your heart, and the Shivalinga or whatever the form that you are going to worship, you invoke the Lord's presence from your heart into that. And at least consider that as the Bhagavad Swarupa. And then do the Upasana. Upasana means the steps of invoking and then offering water to the feet, after the hand, and then to the mouth, and then doing Abhishekam, and then Alankar, and then flower, and then food, and then Prasad, and then Arati, and all these are all to bring that Lord as closer as possible to yourself. So it is a personal engagement with the Lord. See, in our tradition, there are two things. So you can go to a temple and worship the Lord also, but a uniqueness about Hinduism is you can worship at home as well. In the same way, that is the so in Bhagavad that is called Ishtadevata Upasana. You have to worship the Lord at home and keep a place next to anywhere you go. Usually, between, salt tappa and then maybe some haldi, between that Ganesha is sitting. Not that way. You please give a place for the Lord, and that place is meant only for puja or upasana. Many houses have Samsung, not satsang. Huge Samsung, satsang. So that intention is that at home itself is a temple. Deho devalaya. Body itself is a devalaya. Deho devalaya proktaha. Jivo Brahma Sanatana. The soul is Brahma. Sanatana Brahma is your soul. Only if you realize that the body is the temple in which the entrance shrine, this is a shrine of the Lord. That shrine of the Lord, since it is imperceptible, you bring external form so that you mirror reflect your soul, which is supreme reality. And then worship it. At the end of it, what do? You take it back to your heart only. Tishta tishta parasthane swasthane parameshwara etra brga brahmadyo devaha sarve tishtanti me hridi. In my heart. So this is the upasana prescribed to people, for all of us, most of us, who cannot comprehend the avyakta rupa of Brahman. Because we are so identified with our own personality as human physical form, therefore the form which you worship is also a physical form. So that is why Bhagavan says, it is hard for us who identify with the body, sharira abhimani. We are all so connected to our body and identification, aham deha iti. See, our transition should be this way. To start with, everybody says, aham deha. If you ask a small child, well, let's say the name is Aditya. Today the boy is there, morning is fine. Who is Aditya? Me. So that boy, or whatever be this, that at that time, body is me. Even as you grow up, you may have the same condition also. But later on, as you start thinking, I have body. See, there is a big difference between body is me, aham deha, to mama deha. That transition itself is a big leap. आप देह हो, आप शरीर हो, या आप ये शरीर, आपके पास ये शरीर है, आपका है और आप ही है. Which is true? आप ही शरीर हो या आपकी शरीर, आपको शरीर, आपकी या को है. हिंदी में क्या की या तो कहाँ का आपका शरीर, शरीर नहीं, फेमिनिन नहीं है शरीर. Now she is thinking.
Luka is right, but yeah, it's a valid question.
Is it you the body or you have the body? मैं शरीर हूँ या मेरा शरीर है? Now the question is, I am the body or I have the body? If you have the body, you need not have the body also. I have the car. And if you think you are the car, that is ahankar. If you say that I have a car, is it okay? I am the car, that's a problem. You can never park it there. Stand, they sit there only. वो छोड़ के आप जा सकते हो. So, if you understand, I have the body, every night you are leaving it. Right? Every night you are just leaving it. So that means that you are not the body. But during the waking hours, our identification is so strong. So therefore, Bhagavan says it is very difficult for those people who are strongly identified with the body to think of the supreme reality or one's own soul as formless, nameless, attributeless presence. Continuing is therefore, how do we slowly come out of this? How do we transition from only seeing the Lord as the physical form and worshipping that only with respect to my identification with the body, which is related to that, and how do we transition to the next stage? He says in the next two verses, as we read here, Yetu sarvani karmani
Yetu sarvani karmani
Mayi sanyasya matparaha
Mayi sanyasya matparaha
Ananyenaiva yogena
Ananyenaiva yogena
Mam dhyayanta upasate
Mam dhyayanta upasate
Yetu sarvani karmani Mayi sanyasya matparaha Ananyenaiva yogena Mam dhyayanta upasate. It is not only that when you are in the altar of the Lord where you do the upasana. Again, the word upasana is not equal to puja. No. Anytime you are able to bring yourself closer to the Lord or Lord closer to yourself, that is upasana. As I said, Gurudeva asked this question, I have never seen you doing any puja, what are you doing? He says that when I am giving lecture, I am with the Lord only. Who is your altar? The audience. The audience is my altar. And I am talking to my altar only here. He considered that as upasana. Giving lecture on the, giving the correct understanding of Gita or Upanishad, that is my way of doing puja to the Lord. Vak puja. So, it is not necessary that one has to sit down and then do the abhishekam and flower, etc. In fact, that is easier. Why? Because there is a procedure to do it. But to do all actions as upasana. That's why he says, Ye, those people, sarvani karmani, all actions. Matparaha, keeping me as the highest goal. Mai sanyasya, doing everything, leaving everything to me. Mai in me, sanyasya. Mam upasate. Those who are able to worship. Sarvani karmani mai sanyasya. Leaving all actions, performing all right, but for my sake. Meaning what? In the upasana also what you do? Om, when you are chanting the name of the Lord, Om, Subhaya Namaha, Ekadantaya Namaha, Kapilaya Namaha, Gajakarnaya Namaha, Lambodharaya Namaha, Vikataya Namaha, Vigneshwaraya. So when you say Namaha, means Na Mamaha. Na Mama, that's what it means. I'm offering to you, I'm offering to you, I'm offering to you. Meaning what I offer to you is not mine. Meaning it's no more mine. Otherwise, na mama, then you have not offered to the Lord. What you give to the Lord is not no more yours. So even in the upasana, you are actually doing sannyas. When you are offering the prasad to the Lord, and it is given to Him. Then afterwards, when you finish that, you distribute it to everyone. The last probably existing piece is yours. Now what we do, our portion we keep it aside and later on only we give it to others. No, that is not right. When you are doing the Naivedyam, it is for the Lord I have given, and for all others who are ready to partake that, to them it is first, not mine first. So here Upasana essentially is a way of letting go your identification with what your possessions are. So here, Mai karma, Mai sanyasya, ananyenaiva yogena, with your mind with no anyata, meaning there is no otherness. Ananya. See, it is interesting now. Many of these young parents, they come. Swami suggests a name for my child. So I say that, when I suggest, will you keep that name? No, we'll see that. Sometimes we do. Nowadays I stopped doing that. I know you are not going to do this. So one lady only came to my grandchild is going to be born, girl. So what is the name? What is the long time back? It starts with A because they almost parents, Indian parents, they want A. So then I said, okay, I gave some names, Anupama. One of them she liked Anupama. I like that. And then after some time I forgot to ask her, and then when I met, oh yeah, what happened to your grandchild? What's the name you give? Nupama. Why? Because that my daughter said that she didn't want A, she wanted some other letter, said, okay, remove the A. Nupama has no meaning. Upama, meaning comparisonless, unique, that is the meaning. Nupama has no meaning. At least Upama has got a meaning. Nupama. So here also, sometimes Ananya is a name. Nanya. I said, Nanya? What's the Nanya? No meaning. One lady came to me and said, Swamiji, my grandchild, they got a name. What's the name? Nai. Nai? So I thought, what's wrong? She's a Gujarati lady. What's wrong? Nai is a nice name. Because she grew up in South Africa somewhere. In Saheli language, Nai means beautiful. Never go to Tamil Nadu. You go to Tamil Nadu, call your brother, Nai, come here. Nai means dog, by the way. So, you have to be careful. Nanya has no meaning. Ananya. Ananya. Meaning no otherness. Ananyena eva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate. Now dhyayante upasate. Sorry. They are, what kind of upasana they do? Dhyan. This dhyanam eva upasana. So as I said, it is not necessary that they need to offer flowers or chant mantras or show. But it is upasana, all right. By meditating, they are bringing me closer to themselves, and that way also one can meditate. In fact, when you do any puja also, upasana, at the end of it, when you finish, you must start meditating. What we do, moment the puja is over, we are ready to get out of that place. Puja is a preparation for the mind to become quiet and then to think about the Lord. It is like you go to the market and then get all the vegetables and cut all the vegetables and keep it and go home and sleep. You're cooking nahi. The main intention of buying or doing all this is to cook. In the same way, when you finish the puja, you have invoked the Lord. Now let the Lord occupy your mind now. May your mind fully think about Him and Him alone. That is the end part of your upasana must be that meditation upon the Lord whom you have invoked is right in front of you. Think. Instead of what we do, chalo, okay, chalo, aap chalo, main chalo. Mam dhyayante upasate. So dhyan hi upasana hai. How they came to that kind of maturity of bringing the Lord to their mind so that they can continuously engage in meditating upon the Lord even while working in the world. Ye sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matparaha. Keeping me as the highest goal and doing all action. Bhagavan. That's why he said, Mat karma krit, mat paramaha. In the 11th chapter, end of it, we saw that. Mat karma krit, mat paramaha. Doing actions for the Lord. Now, one will wonder, how do we do actions for the Lord? It is to say that the doer here is also he, the receiver is also he. That is the way to do it. It is not you are giving to someone, you are giving to the Lord only. He is only receiving it from you, through you. Then you will understand, मैं किसके लिए कर रहा हूँ? भगवान के लिए। कौन कर रहा है यहाँ पे? भगवान ही कर रहा है. I am only an instrument here. Through me, he is doing his work. If that understanding is there, then you remove your egoistic assertion about me and I did. Kartrutva and bhoktrutva tyag. Doership and enjoyership, both. See, interesting, somewhere I was discussing this point. संन्यास धर्म जो है जिसमें कर्तृत्व भी नहीं है और भोक्तृत्व भी नहीं है. Meaning, I am neither the doer nor the enjoyer of anything. That state of mind is called sannyas. Neither I am the doer nor I am the enjoyer of the result of whatever action that is taking place. Because Brahma akarta, nature of Brahman is not a doer, not engaging in any action. Really speaking, the soul doesn't engage in any action. It is only witnessing all the activities of your mind, your thoughts and emotions and feelings and all the bodily functions. That's why in the Upanishad it is called Dva Suparna Sayuja Sakaya Samanam Vrikshe. So we just sitting in the same tree, Sakaya, these two birds. It is very beautifully given as an illustration. Dva Suparna Sayuja Sakaya Samanam Vriksham Parishasvajate. In a same tree, there are two birds that are sitting, similar looking. And one of them is enjoying all the fruits which are there in the tree. Another one is just watching, not eating any of the fruits. And whenever the fruit is very tasty, and then one who is eating, you are really missing it, you know. That fellow doesn't say anything, he just watching. Then sometimes it's bitter. Oh my God. Then that fellow said, you are better, so I am suffering this. So the one which is sitting and watching is Ishwaraha, and one who is eating is Jiva. But they are similar looking and the same place. This illustration is to show the Bhagavan and you as an individual soul are in the same place. And you, the one who is experiencer, will experience both joys and sorrows, success and failure, and happiness and happiness. The one who is not doing that is just watching it. Until you realize you are really that and not this. You are really that Parameshwara who is watching and not the one who is the Karta and Bhokta here. So, a sannyasa dharma is what? A state of sannyasa is where one has fully identified with the Sakshi Swarupa of Ishvara and not the Jiva who is an experiencer here. So, in the case of a person who has reached that kind of maturity, he neither is a doer nor is a enjoyer of anything. He is neutral to the whole thing. When one is in the Vanaprastha ashram, one step below Vanaprastha, those who are beyond 55, 60, they are supposed to be Vanaprasthas. How many of you, I don't know here. But we are not Vanaprastha, we are Vanaraprastha. I told you about that. You know, Vanaraprastha come on sometime in daughter's house and after them jump into the mother's son's house and then jump into Vanar, they say, jump. But Vanaprastha is the stage where you are karta, na bhokta. You are doing, but not you are claiming that result. That is the maturity of a Vanaprasthim, where I continue to do Bhagavan's work, but I don't take any result to my hand. That is the stage of, third stage in our tradition. There are 4 stages. The last stage is sannyasa. Before that is Vanaprastha, where he is engaging in action, but not enjoying the result for oneself. Now most of you are in Grihasthash, right? You are in the second stage. Where it is, what is that stage? Karta bhi main hu, bhokta bhi main hu. Meaning what? I am doing only for the sake of enjoying my results. So karma yoga is to go to the next level. At the present moment, as a grihastha, what is it? मैं करता हूँ खुद भोगने के लिए. मैं करता हूँ, मैं क्या भोगता हूँ. I am the enjoyer, I am the doer. There is one more stage, first stage, which is what is called Kumar Avastha. Bhokta मैं हूँ, करता कुछ नहीं. Look at the child is going for school, etc. He is not doing any work as such, right? He is only enjoying whatever the food is given and then all the facilities. Some of the teenagers continue like that only. They never go to the next stage. Bhokta मैं हूँ, मैं करता कुछ नहीं. So no. So therefore the 4 stages you understand. First stage is where मैं भोगता हूँ, करता नहीं. ये tamas stage है, tamasic stage. This is state of tamas. Tamas means what? Only for me and open 3 times a day, open the mouth. Food will come and close it. Tamas. The next stage of the grihastha is what? Rajasic. What is it? करता हूँ, भोगता हूँ. क्यों करते हो? भोगने के लिए. I want to enjoy, therefore I keep doing rajas. Constantly engage in action and enjoying action. More enjoyment, more action. More enjoyment, more action. Continues until you get tired of it. Then the third stage is sattvic stage, where karta main nahi bhogta. Meaning I continue to do the right thing, but not for my own personal gains. Then the fourth stage, sannyasa, is gunatita rup, where main karta bhi nahi hu, bhogta bhi nahi hu. I'm just watching the thing going on. So here Bhagavan, what he says, at least go from karta bhokta rup, from that stage, go to the stage of karma karo, but mujhe phal ko tyag karo. That's why he says, karmani sarvani karmani mai sanyasya upasate. Ananyeneva yogena, with the mind not deviating at all. And you want to learn this? Look at a teenager. That's called Ananya Yoga, where the mind is totally focused on this. That much of concentration, if only we had, we can win anything if we want to. And your child may be so focused on this game, but the same thing will not be with the word study. Are you people watching serial? Cereal, watching serial, eating cereal, never cereal. And they are crying, you are crying. That is called Ananya Yoga. They are the character crying, you are also crying. They are laughing, you are laughing. Total identification. Ananya Yoga. So if those people who are completely connected to me, mind not deviated, mam dhyayante upasate. And to such people, I shall give them the right knowledge. I will uplift them to where they are. If they are ready to give up their identification or strong idea that I am the doer, it is my responsibility to uplift them. So therefore he says in the next verse, Teshamaham samudharta Mrityu samsara sagarat Bhavami nachirat partha Maya veshita chetasam Teshamaham samudharta Mrityu samsara sagarat Bhavami nachirat partha Maya veshita chetasam Maya aveshita chetasam tesham. Those who are mind thus totally entered into me. Their mind aveshita. Avesha means to enter completely. That's pragraha pravesha. What is your graha pravesha? Grahe pravesha. Into the house you enter, it's called graha pravesha. Whereas anger has entered into you, it's called kopavesha, krodhavesha, mohavesha. Avesha means to enter. In Sanskrit, wish means to enter. Wish. In English also, visa. Visa word came from there only. In English word visa, which word you cannot enter. So here, mai aveshita chetasam. In me, they are completely engrossed. Tesham aham samsara sagarat na chirat samudharta bhavami. Meaning what? I shall become the uplifter of them quickly from the samsara sagar. Why samsara is called sagar? Who is the samsari? Somebody is very, very sorry. Who is the samsari? Swami ji, आप कुछ भी कहो, मैं samsari हूँ. Yeah, you are sorry, I know. At least you feel sorry now. So, samsara means samyak sarati iti samsara. That which is constantly changing. Those who are caught up in the whirlpool of change is called samsari. Think, is it not that every moment change happening outside us and inside us also? Outside weather conditions. Weather is not the same all the time. So that's what they say, no? Swamiji, Seattle आओ, देखो color हो रहा है. In season है ना, season change. You don't get that in California. Only in this, you see our season. You see the season in California? I think, yeah, we see sun. All the time we see the sun. Not that season. So the outside, everything is changing constantly. And is it not your attitude towards people also change? Their attitude towards you changes. And your children, they change. Their ambitions change, their priorities change, their likes and dislikes change, their desires change, everything is constant flux, isn't it? And very often when we are not ready to accept the change, we suffer. Zindagi, suffer. Why suffer? Because we don't accept the change. Most of our problems are because of inability to accept the change. If you are physically getting old, accept that, yes. Why am I getting old? What do you mean by that? Can anybody stop that? So here, samsara means samyak sarati. Sarati means moves, continuously moving. So mrityu samsara, here it says mrityu samsara sagara. What is the final end of this entire change? Death. Everything is moving towards becoming extinct. Only to come back again. When the child is born, everybody is laughing except the child. You have noticed that? The child is, again back to the same place. See? She's laughing now. You are, ek aur bakra aa gaya. Very good, another fellow is coming same now. That fellow cries, again I have come. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Now, the samsara sagara is called mrityu samsara sagara because constant change leading to death. From that, the change which leading only to death and dissolution, I will uplift them. Aham samuddharta bhavami, samuddharta bhavami. I become the uplifter when? Nachirat. Chira means long. Nachirat. Not very long. Quickly. When? If they keep their mind completely. Tesham aham samuddharta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami nachirat partha maya veshita chetasam. If they keep their mind in me, I will take the responsibility of rescuing them from this change. But the difficulty is keeping the mind in the Lord. That is why it is said, when the Lord's nature is attributeless, formless, colorless, it's very difficult to keep your mind there. See, for example, think about Bhagavan Krishna. Just close your eyes, think of Krishna. Close your eyes, think. Okay, now tell me, which Krishna are you thinking of?
The bronze Krishna in my house.
Brown Krishna in your house. Which Krishna are you thinking?
The blue one with the ribbon.
Blue Krishna. What Krishna are you thinking?
With the
White Krishna. Tell me whether it is brown, blue or white. Tell me that. See, when you say Krishna, which Krishna you are thinking about? Some people say Udupi Krishna. Some people say Guruvayur Krishna, Unni Krishna. Some people say Madura Krishna. See, Krishna being the same, is it not that our mind, when it starts to think about the Lord, the favorite or well-known, what you worship or what you are attached to, that form of only Krishna only you are thinking? Balakrishna or Radha Krishna or Gopala Krishna, Unni Krishna, all are Krishna only. So when you go, let us say that you are a worshipper of Udupi Krishna, whether every year you go there. But when you go to Guruvayur, will you see it as a different or the same one? Even though the form is different, but Krishna is Krishna there. In that small little fellow sitting there. You go to Badri, or you go to Vrindavan, or you go to Puri, is it not the Krishna the same? The form is different, but the nature of the Lord Krishna is the same. If you are a Vaishnava, then you do not mind whether you go to Narayana's, you go to Rangapravesh, you go to Trivandrum, you see him lying down there. Same Krishna only, Narayana in that form. So, when you are a Vaishnavite, then whichever form, whether it is in the form of Sri Rama, or Ranga, Sri Ranga, or Venkatajalapati or Balaji, or Krishna, so your mind is tuned to seeing the same, irrespective of the form. Now, one step further, the same form is only in Shiva also, which is very difficult for people to move that point, only the Narayana. But the Narayana Amsha is there in, the same presence is there in Shiva also. Now, which Shiva you think? Kedar Shiva, or Rameshwara Shiva, or Kashi Shiva, or Ujjain Shiva, or Narmada Shiva, which one? So when you start recognizing the presence of the Lord, irrespective of the form, you're slowly moving away from mental conditioning. This is how we are able to know that, really speaking, Bhagavan has in no particular form. In fact, every form is his form only. That's what he showed in the Vishwarupa. Every form you think of, not only divine form, every form. A tree is also, a plant also, a sun, moon, water, fire, air, space, birds, flowers. Sab mein dekhna. From the form of human or physical form which resembles you, you move up. See, that is why in Hinduism alone you see the worship of women also as divine is very unique. Where we are not stuck to any gender form. Even a plant or even a cow or even a tree, people cannot understand, those who are from other religious standpoint. How can you worship a tree as God? Why not? Tree is also God. Not tree is God, tree is also God. This is you or not? Are you a finger? Are you a finger? Finger is also you, correct? You cannot say, who are you? Finger. That is, if you say that, it is actually correct. A finger is also you. In the same way, is tree God? Tree is also God. Not tree is God. We don't say that way. Sab mein dekhna. So in everything when you start seeing, your mind opens up to accept everything. That is what sarvatra samabuddhaya earlier pointed out. Sarvatragam achintyam cha kutastam achalam dhruvam. Anywhere and every form, in any form, if I am able to recognize the presence of the Lord as inherently there, then my mind can easily meditate without having any particular form. And even if you take the form, I am able to recognize, I can see in this form, but I can also able to see Him in everything. So this way, your mind is capable of connecting itself to the Lord wherever you are. This mind is what Bhagavan says. Maya veshya chetasam. So he says, Maya veshita chetasam tesham aham samuddharta mrityu samsara sagarat. Therefore, what is the instruction he gives here? Mayyeva mana adatsva.
Mayyeva mana adatsva.
Mayi buddhim niveshaya.
Mayi buddhim niveshaya.
Nivasishyasi mayyeva.
Nivasishyasi mayyeva.
Atavurdvam na samshayah.
Atavurdvam na samshayah.
Mayyeva mana adatsva. Mayi buddhim niveshaya. Nivasishyasi mayyeva. Atavurdvam na samshayah. Therefore, Bhagavan directly says, keep your mind in me. Mayi eva mana adatsva. Keep. Adanam is to keep. In me alone you keep your mind. And he also says, mind which is very fickle by nature, if you are able to keep that mind in you, with the help of your buddhi, which is a mind is of the nature of fickleness, buddhi is of the nature of determination. So even the buddhi you keep in me. Mayi buddhim niveshaya. Buddhim mayi niveshaya. Manaha mayi niveshaya. Keep your mind in me. Keep your intellect is also in me. So the distinction must be clear. For, when you go to school or any university study, etc., your intellect is addressed. Logic, rationality, reasoning. When you are studying science, you are studying math, studying anything, they are addressing your buddhi. When they are addressing your buddhi, your intellectual ability increases, reasoning ability increases, rationality increases. That's why such children, when they go into those, they start not accepting or able to use much of their emotional part of their personality. The emotional part of the personality take a back seat. And Even when you talk about God, where is God? Who is God? I don't know. Intellectually, you explain to me. Oh, where did it start from? What is origin? What is the first person who came? See, they keep on asking questions because they only use the same buddhi which has been given reasoning, explanation, etc. in the school. Even when they come to Balviyar, they will do the same thing. To bring the other side of the personality, which is also part of their psyche, called manaha, is where the devotion or bhakti and prayer, etc. comes into picture. If you don't develop that, it's a lopsided development. Because most of our life, we don't live intellectually. Think. When you go to a South Indian restaurant, what do you eat? Masalas. Why? I like it. What is an intellectual reasoning for that? Give me an intellectual reasoning. I like coffee in the morning. Why? I like it. Why? Why not tea? What is intellectual reasoning you can give? Tell me. Why are you wearing what the dress you are wearing? Why? I like it. Why not you wear like her? This is what I like. Just this liking, mainly it is emotional. There's no logic there. I like this over like this. Why? If you're saying, oh, this is more healthy than, then I can understand there is no intellectual reasoning. Rasgulla. What health is in that? Why do you like? I like it. Why? I like it. There's no question asked. Where is your scientific reasoning then? If you really look at everyday life also, your choices that you make in everyday life, most of them are done by your mind. Emotional. And when it comes to only God, they'll say, oh, give me logic. What logic? Why do you need logic there? So, only when we start developing the emotional connection with the Lord, that's why he says, Bhagavan, what he says? Keep your mind in. Because that is where most of us live with our mind. All our relationships are based upon our emotional connections. Why do you choose this color for your car? Why? I like it. There's no reasoning, there's no logic there. No, my brother-in-law has got white, therefore I have black. You may give that reasoning there also, but that is not the reason. So most of our decisions that we take about what we like, what we want, are decided by the mind. So Bhagavan here says, if you are able to develop that part of your personality also to like me, and by study of scriptures and vichar karke, buddhi also you bring it in. Then both aspects of your personality, mind and intellect, mana tata buddhi, both of them coming together, then you will live with me only. Nivasishyasi mai eva. Ata urdhvam. Thereafter you will live with me only or in me only. Na samshaya. No doubt. Meaning, if you are able to bring that emotional as well as an intellectual personality of yours together combined, Gurudev called it as a holy wedding of both these two. One person went to a doctor and said, the doctor was explaining, the left part of your body is governed by the right brain. Then right part of the body is governed by the left brain. And that is very well known. So he went to the doctor and I think some issues there in my, okay, let me do the scanning. After scanning, he said, in your left brain, there's nothing right. Problem is, in your right brain, nothing is left. See, Ardhanarishwara, that is the whole point there. How beautifully they picturized it. The creative aspect and the logical aspect, they both have to be there. In fact, Yoga Shastra very clearly says Ida and Pingala. The left and the right. The left nostril is the power of creativity. The right nostril is all about logic. When you are breathing, at any given point of time, you are not breathing through both the nostrils at all. You only do one of them. And whichever is active, that's how you think. These are all Yoga Shastra way of explaining. That's why they do the pranayama to balance it. You have to breathe both ways so that your both aspect of your personality is taken. And even your Sushumna Nadi is Ida Pingala, Ida Pingala, Ida Pingala. That's how it keeps moving. Anyway, let's not go into Yoga Shastra right now. But the point is that the emotional personality of you as well as the intellectual both needs to be concentrating upon me. Then, that's what he says here, if you keep it in me, then you thereafter live in me only. Why this is important is that when you do not have a proper exposure to the correct knowledge, when you sit for meditation, you start doubting. I think, भगवान अभी उसमें के बारे में ध्यान करना मैं very young. It's too early to meditate on God. I'm only 65. Young. 65. You may die anytime. One may think that, oh, I have enough time. So when the intellectual knowledge is lacking, you start doubting your action. Especially when you go to a temple and everybody is doing salutation and all. I think it's not necessary. See, that intellect comes and stops your action. That's why you tell the teenager, Swami ji ko namaskar karo. He doesn't want you to stand like a stick. Do namaskar. Kisko? Bhavan, wo to stone hai. See, intellect has overtaken over there. You won't see the Lord there. You will see only the stone there. So buddhi alone, when you do, it will not oblige or even bend down for the Lord. No respect will come. No emotion will be there. No bhava. I thought yesterday also I told, no? The way they sing, Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. So there is no actual feeling for the Lord. Or even when they do the dance. Why? Because there is no feeling I am doing for the Lord. I am representing Bhagavan's story. That doesn't happen. So here Bhagavan says, you equally develop the emotion towards me by doing your seva and puja and upasana. And at the same time, Shastra Adhyayanam, Shastra Vichar, that will give you the correct reasoning and understanding. Combined together, when you bring both together to me, thereafter you will live in me alone, no doubt. Swami, it is so difficult to keep our mind in the Lord. So now, Bhagavan gives lot of ways of, if you can't do this, do this. If you can't do this, do this. If you can't do this, do this. You can put a flowchart there. Saying that if my mind does not stay with the Lord, what should I do? So here he says, Adachittam samadhatum
Adachittam samadhatum
na shaknoshi mayi stiram
Shaknoshi mayi stiram
abhyasa yogena tataha
Abhyasa yogena tataha
Mamichaptum dhananjaya
Mamichaptum dhananjaya
Adachittam samadhatum na shaknoshi mayi stiram abhyasa yogena tataha mamichaptum dhananjaya. Ata, in case, Chittam samadhatum mayi stiram samadhatum na shaknoshi. If you are not able to steadily keep your mind in me, it's exactly, what do I do now? I am not able to keep my mind steadily on you. My mind is going all over the place. In fact, in 6th chapter itself, this was answered. Bhagavan Krishna talked about meditation, and in the 6th chapter, towards that, end of it. So, Arjun, you understood what is meditation? I understood all right. My problem is, chanchalam ki mana Krishna. My mind is chanchal. Chanchal means what? Unsteady. And see, people keep the name Chanchal. Kya करेंगे? नाम क्या है? Chanchal. हाँ, पता है. Chanchal means unsteady, fickle. So Bhagavan, he says to Bhagavan Krishna, Chanchalam hi mana Krishna, pramadi balabhadranam. It is always making mistakes, and it is, and Vayoriva sudushkaram, it is very difficult to control it. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna, pramadi balabhadranam, tasyaham nigraham manye, Vayoriva sudushkaram. Like the wind, you cannot hold it. Vayu iva sudushkaram grahitum. To hold it is very difficult. So what do? The Bhagavan smiled and said, Asamshayam mahabaho manodurnigraham chalam. Yes, Arjun, I accept that. Mind is very difficult to hold on to, and it is continuously moving. But the second line he says, Abhyasena tu konteya, vairagyena cha grihyate. Abhyas karo. Abhyas means what? Practice. There is nothing will be impossible if you consistently engage in that. Here also what he says, in case other chittam mai stiram samadhatum na shaknosi. If you are not able to keep your mind steadily in me, what you should do? Abhyasa yogena tataha. With your practice. See, there is a difference between practice and habit. What is habit? Mindlessly what you do is called habit. Every day morning you do the abhyasa of it, drinking coffee. What are you doing? Early morning I do practice of drinking coffee. It's not practice, it's habit. When you don't have to put too much of your mind, and it is not. See, abhyasa is doing regularly only to improve every time you do it. And you can improve that only when you mindfully engage in that. Oh, this is how I did. Tomorrow I should do better than this. So that is why when you are practicing dance, you don't say I'm doing habit of dancing. No, practice dance. Meaning what? Every time I do it better than previous time. That is practice. What is habit? Mindlessly you keep doing it without even, no, you cannot say nowadays I'm improving in my drinking coffee. Making coffee may be a practice.
Yes.
But drinking coffee is not a practice, it's a habit. Right? So when you are about to learn how to drive a car, then you are practicing. Afterwards a habit, you just keep it going while you are talking and doing this thing, then you continue to drive. So here specifically uses the word abhyasa yogena. Mind, keeping the mind in the Lord must be a practice. It cannot happen on its own. You learned languages from the mother tongue, almost any language you learned based upon certain practices. You practice talking it or writing or reading. You engage in that particular process and slowly got used to the vocabulary, the grammar and the usage and context and then all that. So slowly then you become familiar with that language. So either language, any skill, because repeatedly engaging and improving every time. Similarly, keeping your mind in me does not happen by itself. If you are able to do it, then you are blessed. That's such Mahatmas who are able to, from the very birth onwards, from the early stage onwards, they are able to keep the mind in the Lord, like Prahalad. Even from the womb of the mother itself, he learned that. Therefore, when he came and when he started to live, even in spite of the fact his father was such an atrocious person, he was able to naturally, spontaneously, without any kind of hesitation, he was able to say, Narayana is real, my father. How he was able to do that? Because of his practice while he was in the womb of the mother. That's why we say, when you are carrying, if you are in family way, expose yourself to these kind of thoughts and satsanga. But they have, in Kuma, they have for the pregnant women also. No, I am very surprised. So yeah, they have, when the fellow comes out when he was born itself, oh no. The mother, when she was pregnant itself, they have started teaching mathematics there. So abhyasa is practicing mindfully, repeatedly. So, yatra yatra mano yadi tatra tatra niveshayat, atmani niveshayat. Meaning, wherever the mind goes, there itself you stop and bring it back. Yato nischarati manaschanchala mastiram tatastato niyam etat atmanneva vasham nayet. In 6th chapter itself, Bhagavan said, whenever the mind goes out, there and then you pick it up and come back. What happens is, when we run with the mind will take you all over the place. Moment you know the mind has already moved out and it is unnecessarily roaming around, bring it. Hook it there, come back. Like you go with the dog, every lamppost, it wants to smell whether my friend has gone through this area or not. If it is not, I will put a mark there. This is my territory. So, whenever it tries to eat some, you say, hey, come here. And it goes in, then there's something, hey, come here. Why do you pull it? You don't want that to go there. Similarly, the mind also is like a dog. Nai. It keeps going somewhere. Bring it. Because the mind's nature is to roam around. Chanchalam it is. Yato manas charati chanchalam charati. Tatastato niyame. Don't wait. Because see, for example, when you are going with the dog, then you leave and the dog will take you wherever it wants to go. So here, abhyasa yogena tataha. And how do you then bring this practice consistently? Mam icha, mam aptum icha, desiring to reach me. If that is there, then the abhyasa will become consistent. Anything that we practice because the end result is very attractive. Even when the Bharatanatyam and all they practice, what? Arangetram. What is it called? Ranga Pravesham. And with an audience of 100 people who came only 100 or 200 people, only for my mother, parents to spend money and eat and clap and go, I'm dancing. That's what happens finally. Those many of the children who practice dancing never ever afterward touched that. But what makes them able to go onto the stage and perform? That idea. Oh, so many people are going to clap. So many people are going to take picture. So many people are going to get video, and then I will be the star of the day. Right? So the practice, in this case it is a practice just to excel in a particular skill. But here Bhagavan says, Mam aptum icha, to desire to reach me. If that goal is clear, because through the mind alone I can reach the Lord, that mind should be with me. Then only it is possible reach him. Therefore, mam aptumicha, that desire in your mind, abhyasa yogena. Abhyasa yogena tataha mamichaptum dhananjaya. And you put the word dhananjaya. You know why? Because you did not become an archer by fluke. You practiced it. You became a great archer of our time because how long you practiced for this. So too, as much as archery, you became an expert by practice. Putting your mind in me also only through practice. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkham Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.